How did Nehru become so prominent in the Congress that he became the PM despite him being so incompetent, meek, suffering from inferiority complex all his life, etc.? Well, to understand why somebody like Shri Jawaharlal Nehru succeeded in the Congress party, we have to understand what the Congress party really was. The Congress party was created in the 19th century by Alan Hume. The founder of the Congress party was Alan Hume, an Englishman. He was British. And the only objective of the Congress party was to create a proper, civilized, British mediated, British overseen freedom struggle for India. So, a fake freedom struggle for India, and that would take the shape that the British desired it to take. Basically, it would be a non-violent freedom struggle. There would be no violence. So then you could categorize all violent freedom struggles, all violent manifestations of India's freedom aspirations as terrorism. So you see even that today in India's history textbooks. If you go to any university textbook of history, they will portray people like Bhagat Singh, etc., as terrorists or extremists. So the objective of the Congress party was to create a fake freedom struggle, right? A freedom struggle that was led by people who were British educated, who were Anglophones, who were Anglophiles, and whose first allegiance was to the crown of England, of Great Britain. So that was the objective, the plan, the agenda of the Congress party, which was created by an Englishman. And if you see the history of the Congress party, all of its major leaders were all educated in England. They all spoke English as their first language. They all loved England. They all owed their allegiance to the crown. And they espoused a very gentle, respectful, obedient freedom struggle, no violence, petitioning the government, writing letters, doing non-violence, hunger strikes, and things like that. And therefore, the leaders, and when somebody like Subhash Chandra Bose ascended to the leadership of the Congress party, it was an accident. And he was very quickly overthrown in a coup by Mohandas Gandhi. Gandhi engineered a political coup within the Congress party, which led to the expulsion of Subhash Chandra Bose out of the party, right? So the objective of the Congress party was to shepherd India's freedom struggle in a way that suited the British, so that the British could continue on in India as long as they wanted to, and then they could have a proper exit strategy from India, which was the partition and destruction of India. So that was the only agenda and objective of the Indian National Congress. And the exit plan was to partition India and install a puppet prime minister or a prime minister of their choice in India. So essentially, it was a transfer of power from foreign crooks to Indian crooks. And they wanted somebody who was very much indebted to them. So basically, when the partition happened, India became a dominion status country. Then there was this internal election in the Congress party in which Sardar Patel won almost all the votes. It was, I think, unanimous. And yet Gandhi, Mr. Gandhi, Mohandas Gandhi, arm twisted the Congress party into basically accepting Nehru undemocratically as the Prime Minister of India. So it was not a democratic process, it was an undemocratic process. Mr. Gandhi was basically furthering the agenda of the British in installing this great person, Shri Nehruji, as the Prime Minister of India. So Nehru did not fight an election until the 1950s. I think the first Indian election, parliamentary election, was in 1951, I think. So 47 was merely a transfer of power from the British to a bunch of people the British chose. That's what it was. And that's why Mr. Nehru, despite his wonderful characteristics, was able to become the Prime Minister of India. He was selected by the British.